to be an anesthesiologist and actually have a true impact on people's mental health, I think it's amazing. And the reason I'm very interested in mental health, as Linda alluded to, is my mother committed suicide. I have lived in a family that was very stressed. My father was a survivor from World War II with severe PTSD. And unfortunately, that really was a very complex childhood, shall we say, led to my mother's suicide. And that gave me a lot of encouragement, shall we say, to treat people. It is amazing to see the number of people in the audience who've had this treatment. And then I personally have had this treatment as well. It really changed my life as well. But yeah, as you say, this is in New York City. But I think the observation by Linda that the sergeant did not jump at the fire engine, I think that just demonstrates how basic sympathetic system is. If you think of fight and flight system, which is sympathetic system, is all pervasive. My wife said, it's impossible for it to work. I don't see how that's going to work. But if you think of it, it's so basic, and it's relatively easy to reverse the effects of the problems by doing a relatively simple, straightforward procedure. So that's been done. It has been done since 1925. I've been personally doing it since 1987. But again, it was very interesting to see my friends and people who've actually gone through it, their descriptions of it is fascinating to me. The description by Mr. Finley of the dual block, that has never been done before. And the only reason it came to be is because I was treating a sniper who was suicidal. We did one block and it didn't work for him at all. And I happened to know how to do the other block, and then I did it and took away his issue. And that is exactly why we used to take people back and do the dual block, so dual sympathetic reset. And then we started doing bilateral, or both sides. Turns out childhood trauma seems to live on left and right, and adult trauma seems to live more on the right side. All of that was determined just taking the patients, and I've been very fortunate they have been born to a family of physicians. And I think one thing that my parents definitely taught me, listen and talk to the patient. It's not a complicated thing. If you don't, you're losing an amazing opportunity to do better. And just success rates of 30-40% of psychiatric treatment is just, I think, unconscionable. It is a very problematic thing. Now is the time to do something different in trying to treat it. And I think with everybody's help here, we can do amazing things. We already done doing amazing things. Thanks to Linda and Glenn's generosity, we're doing what I'm calling Linda Study, which is going to be the real study that I've been telling the Pentagon for 10 years. I've been telling the VA for 8 years that we need to do real study, real research, using functional MRI, doing the real deal. It's like, and everybody agreed with it. I go, nah, but we're not going to do it. Great thought, thank you, but nah. We're going to do the study, the same cost, but it's going to give us garbage results. Good, but could be better, but no, we can't be doing that. So thankfully, it's starting this month in this very city. NYU is doing it, and you know what? That's an amazing institution, and I think that's going to make it. Thank you so much. It's going to make the study, it's going to push stellate ganglion or DSR or this technique to be much more acceptable, because one of the things is most physicians, when I talk to doctors about, they still give me, it's like, nah, I don't think so. First of all, you're not that smart. And I always tell them I'm smarter than you. Number two, why haven't anybody else figured it out since 1925? And anybody who's interested, I can give you the explanation. But thank you, competition. But the point is, I was the right place at the right time, but it's really important to think differently. What has been done? My mother was under the care of a psychiatrist when she killed herself. She was on 2 psychiatric drugs, and that is not as successful. Anyway, love New York. I am beyond humbled to see everybody here and to see what we've been able to achieve. I think next year is going to be, I can't even imagine where we're going to be going from here. But I think the results speak for themselves. We were able to help military sexual trauma victims and survivors, being able to trail survivors. We were able to scan 4 brains of patients before and after Stellate. One of them was a Delta Force commander his wife, which is another thing I'm very passionate about. It's called secondary PTSD. You can think of PTSD as a viral agent. When somebody gets in the family, actually, the spouse can get it and the children can get it. So a lot of times we're trying to treat the family unit, not just the person. And then we were able to treat a survivor, false incarceration survivor. He was in jail for about 12 years, had horrible PTSD, and his wife. So if you look at their MRIs, functional MRIs, or actually had SPECT scans, they demonstrate similar type of changes. So the point is, if you look at trauma as trauma, meaning if there is a change, there's going to be a change. It doesn't matter what you got it. You can reverse it by doing this approach. So, and again, the compliance is great. I highly recommend going to sleep like your husband did. Like first time, he did like, no bueno. Second time was much easier. When I had mine done, I was asleep. A, I didn't want to feel it. B, I didn't want to tell the doc how to do it. That would not look good. Anyway, with that said, I thank you so much, everybody, for coming. You're letting me live my dream. Thank you so much. Thank you.